Like, I'm with it, okay? The Spurs fans need to come on because I fight for my babies. I will fight for my dogs. I'm totally fine with them acting the ass over their team. I'm fine with it. I was loving every bit of how crazy and amazing and passionate we were over these games. I was heartbroken that the Spurs lost, but I was so excited for my New York people to have this moment. Truly, seeing all the reshares, all the posts, all the videos, like they had a time. Okay, they had a good New York ass fucking time, and I can't take that away from them. But anyways, without further ado, because I'm not gonna spend too much time on the Knicks. Congrats, I guess. Let me get these nuts off.
These nuts. Got him.
Let's kick off Pride and celebrate the fact that Lil Nas X has returned to social media. I just am blessed and thankful to see his smile. Seeing him post this video and be so transparent and vulnerable and talk about what happened to him. That's why I don't be want to drink this damn Modelo because it be making me fucking yeasty. I told you that yeast be getting to me. Anyways, his smile was so amazing to see him back on social media and to tell us what happened because last we saw he was butt naked in the streets. You could tell he was on something and he had really went through a lot. So upon his return, he said, you know, he has new music, which we're excited about, but he also was very honest about the fact that he's struggling with his bipolar diagnosis. He's got a therapist now and a psychiatrist. And for me, and he went to rehab. Sorry, he was gone to rehab the past few months. And for so many Black queer people, people constantly turn to drugs because they're not trying to numb what they're going through and what they're feeling. They're numbing the fact that their families have turned away from them. Parents don't care about them. A lot of them are living on the streets. A lot of them are battling with how terrible the world treats us just for living in our queer existence. So there was, you know, we saw him in the limelight. We thought, you know, he's a troll. All this stuff isn't getting to him, but he's a kid. And like, I just feel so much protection for this boy. Like I genuinely feel like he's our queer baby and we've got to protect him at all costs. So to know that that's what he's been going through, he's got a therapist and a psychiatrist. But so many of our youth don't have that. They don't have the money for therapy, for a psychiatrist, for a diagnosis. The few people that I do know who were able to get a diagnosis have been able to get medicated and to get the help. But, you know, I love that he's been able to do this and that he has been open to doing this and to finding out what's going on. And he just seems like he's doing so much better. He was like, oh my God, like I'm doing life on hard mode. And you see that. He's like, I'm Black, gay, bipolar. He's like, damn, God, can you give me a break? It just feels like the time right now. Like he's struggling bad. This is also the reason why, like, so many people don't come out and live their most authentic lives because it can be extremely dangerous to be Black and queer in this life. So shout out to Lil Nas X. So excited for him. Love that he's returned to us. And yeah, take all the time you need. I love that he came out with a new song. I can't remember what it's called, but it's all pink. He has this whole pink song. What's her name? I always forget her name when I'm going to talk about her, but she just make the pink music. Someone's going to listen to this and know exactly what I'm talking about. But she made the song that's like, oh, Mona Leo. And she made the whole pink music video, and it's so beautiful. So I'm loving the pink. Wore pink, you know, very girly pop. And yeah, shout out to you. I love that as Black queer people, we refuse to die silent. Like, he's telling his story. Meg's telling her story. A lot of people think you should suffer in silence and keep things off the internet. But if it's one thing about Black queer people, they're going to write the stories. They're going to speak out loud what's happened to them. We will absolutely not die silent. My next nut. So, Davy, I think her name is, Davy Chase, who voiced Chihiro in Spirited Away, passed away at 35 years old after, I think, battling with liver failure or some type of she had medical complications and she passed away. It was so sad. She voiced Lilo and Stitch. People, like, Spirited Away is my movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. So to know she was the voice of the English version and she brought that to life. It's so sad to hear of her passing. So rest in peace to that beautiful girl. My next nut, I guess we'll go ahead and talk about the Kevin Hart situation. The roast of Kevin Hart, which, you know, it had been a while since Kevin Hart had done some dumb shit. So for me, I didn't see this coming, but I'm not surprised. So everyone has talked about the roast of Kevin Hart, all of the horrific comments made. White people gonna be white people, okay? White people gonna white at all times. So this really isn't about what was said, even though it's horrific. I know a lot of people are overshadowing what was said about the comedian's Cheryl, what's her name? Cheryl Underwood's husband who passed, and people were saying she was okay with it. She was not okay with what they were going to say. She wasn't told what they were going to say. No one protects black women, so it's not surprising. But I want to talk about the way Kevin Hart responded, because it's one thing to feel like, you know, it's not my fault they did this, but the way that Kevin Hart coons and tap dances for white people will forever blow my mind. Like, it's not just it's the way in which like Kanye West is disrespectful when black people have an issue with something. It's always like, not only do I not give a fuck about what y'all feelings, but I'm gonna be disrespectful on top of not giving a fuck about y'all feelings. I'm like, why do you have so much audacity for the people who made you famous? Your own community, the people who look like you, the people who birthed you, raised you, that you come from. And not only that, but he was so disrespectful to the black woman who was trying to tell him, you know, George Floyd's brother was a fan of you. I did an interview with him, and he was talking about, you know, he was just disappointed because he's a fan. And Kevin Hart's like, no offense, but I'm never gonna watch that. Not gonna watch. He went on and on telling this woman like, I don't give a fuck, you know, and I'm not gonna ever watch that, so I don't care. It's like so despicable that he just doesn't get it. Or maybe he does, maybe he's just like, I'm so rich and I've been here so long that, again, class solidarity. These white people who give me money and allow me to continue to stay rich, quote unquote, is who I care about. If I get to be in these spaces, I could care less about the people with no power. And I just feel like far too often we continue to let black men get away with this. The way that we'll just cold turkey stop supporting black gay people, black women, black trans people. We will continue to give black men money. We're still supporting Snoop Dogg, Kevin Hart, Nelly, like all these people who have done despicable things and turned their back on the black community. And it's just kind of like, oh man, damn, Kevin. So he will get no more of my coins. I haven't been supporting him in a long time. And I think that it's just sad to see what fame, money, power, ego can do to someone that you see as a community member. It's really sad. But let's keep going. On to my next nut. A lot of these will be queer nuts because it's queer pride, but unfortunately with our existence comes so much violence because inherently our existence is defiance. But, oh, what is his name? I didn't write it down. Okay. A Brooklyn jury has convicted Dmitry Popov of first-degree manslaughter and the killing of the black gay dancer O'Shea Sibley. So this was and he faces up to 25 years in prison. So this was the case where the gay black man was voguing and dancing to Beyonce in a parking lot, and a white boy just violently, or white man, let me stop emphasizing these white people, grabbed a knife and just stabbed him to death. And it's so telling that Not only did they take off a hate crime, they constantly do this. When it is a black person murdered, a gay black person murdered, trans, and we know exactly why they were murdered, they never get the hate crime. It's always taken off the table. Not only that, but he got first degree manslaughter. Why is this not murder? They go above and beyond to give white people less sentences and give black people harsher sentences. We see this happening right now with Carmelo Anthony, who was just found guilty. We see this with the Asian man who gunned down a black teen and got off. Like, time and time again, we're treated like we're less than human in this country. Our killings don't matter. A 1-year-old baby was just murdered. A woman's dog got murdered just for answering the door when a Knicks game was going on. Not even violent. Like, between all of these different things happening and the Michelle Obama slander, I feel like black fatigue is at an all-time high right now. And that's what they want. It's I just forgot what I was going to say. I just lost my train of thought that quick. I'm going to have to edit this out. It's been designed that way. They have designed to make sure that we feel tired, overwhelmed. The fatigue is real. And some of these things I just can't give energy to. The Michelle Obama thing, I just can't. I know why they do it. They want to rile us up. They want to make black women the butt of the joke, as they've continued to do. Some things I just cannot give energy to. Other things I cannot help but see and just feel distraught about. An Asian man gunning down a 14-year-old child. My daughter is 14. A 14-year-old child that's running away. Whether or not they said that he had a gun, whatever the case may be, he is running away. You chase him half a football field away and gun him down and completely get off. I'm just like, sometimes it's hard to just wake up and believe the reality that we're existing in. And for all the people who voted for Trump or who didn't think it was going to be that serious, it has gotten worse than it's ever been in our entire lifetime. I know my mom, she was getting ready to retire. She waited 2 more years and now she's going to retire. He slashed their Social Security and her retirement in half. And I'm like, well, Mom, why don't you just wait? Maybe after he goes out of office, you can get the money back. She's like, you know how long it may take for things to go back to normal if they ever do? And it's like, she doesn't know how much longer she can wait. She's got her retirement time, but he's made it almost impossible for older people who've worked their entire lives to retire with any type of income. I feel like I wake up every day in the rat race. Every time that I cannot just sit down, watch a movie, go for a walk. My mind is 24/7 on how can I make more money? How can I get out of this rat race? How can I get out of this misery? How can I make sure my kids are taken care of? Because we know that even if you work hard and work a simple 9 to 5, you will not make enough money in this country to take care of yourself and your children. It's impossible. You need 2 incomes. Y'all both need to be making 6 figures. It just feels like there's never a sense of ease. Specifically black ease. I just want black ease. I just want to wake up and exist as a black person and just feel okay. They are determined to make sure that we do not feel that way. We do not feel empowered. And at the end of the day, we just want to be left the fuck alone. We don't want to wake up with revenge, go attack the White House. We just want to wake up, eat our food, sip our cereal milk, and be good. They have designed it so that we always feel tired, that we're always irritated, that we're always angry. And now, all these people who felt like they were untouched up until this point, everybody feel it. Men feel it. White people feel it. Straight people feel it. Cisgender people feel it. Everybody who thought they were exempt from the regime of which is racist Republican Trump is now having to feel that shit directly. And I'm seeing so many of my cisgender straight friends just unraveling. They seem like they're like falling apart because for the first time they're having to experience what we've been experiencing our entire lives, what we've noticed for a long time. The fear that black moms have to feel when their kids walk outside and go out into the world and they don't know if they'll come back home. Other races of parents are finally having to feel that shit. It's not like we wanted this, but we wanted y'all to pay attention when we were fucking telling y'all this shit. So it's like the exhaustion and the fatigue. I think it's going to take a lot more of us to make community spaces and to come together for us to survive this. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take art, community, real care, and togetherness. All of the isms, the fact that there's still so many people who hate gay people, so many oppressed groups hate other people's oppression, and I'm just like, nigga, why? Why? You don't see what you is? Y'all swear to God that y'all can privilege yourselves out of the oppression, out of the fight, and y'all gonna see time and time again it's gonna come directly to you. And last but not least, my final nut, Elaine Brown, who is a former Black Panther member. Let me go find this. I feel like this Modelo hit me harder than I realized. Okay. Elaine Brown, former Black Panther member, has spent the last decades, not decade. She has spent decades. She has spent decades organizing, advocating, and raising more than $80 million to bring the Black Panther apartments to life. And she has been housing so many people, so many so many low-income people, so many undocumented people. So many people live here because out in Oakland, out in Cali in general, in Oakland, the homelessness population has just gotten bigger and bigger. So she is housing so many people only for the white ass, oh my God, why can't I find anything? Only for San Francisco PD to come and ram the doors open, to just shatter the glasses of the front doors. So there, in this video, you just see like a whole bunch of police officers just banging on the door, and they're looking like, what's going on? They don't know what's happening. They're scared. They're not going to open the door. They don't know. These officers not only are banging on the door with rams, they're in plain clothes. They're not dressed up as officers. They're in plain clothes. So it just looks like the fucking KKK came to their door and is trying to break it down. So they don't open the door. They break through the glasses. Eventually, they find out that some guy who robbed 2 stores ran near them, and so they just came, got a warrant, and just attacked the building, rammed down the glasses, searched everywhere, did not find this man. But it is so heartbreaking that someone who did so much for the community in a space that houses the community had to go through this. It is really a traumatic experience to have like a whole bunch of fucking police with guns just break your fucking door down. A whole bunch of undocumented people were there, and we know how crazy ICE is. So they're fearful, they're scared. They don't know if they're coming to get snatched up. Just for them to say that this was all legal and this was just a part of the process. And, you know, this happened to a friend of mine. The police just bust down their door saying that they had drugs in the house. They don't come clean that up. They don't come and put the door back together. It's just like, okay, we didn't find anything, but oh well, that's on you. It's just a part of police investigation. It is so crazy that in this country, police can kind of just do whatever they want. You can't fight back. If it's just a plain clothes person, a white guy with a gun, I shoot back, I shot a cop. You're not even addressing who you are. You're not saying, oh, police, open up, nothing. You're just ramming the door. I'm like, this is insane, honestly, to me. So Elaine Brown and the housing development are now taking action. They're going to sue, and I hope that they get all their fucking money, because besides the door, it's really just traumatic to go through that. So many more people should be able to sue for pain and suffering, because it's really sad that that even happened. Well, that's all my nuts for this week. We don't have, I was going to do an Am I the Asshole? Didn't find one quick enough. I only got 20 minutes to get out of here. So I'm going to make the rest of this episode pretty quick and make Elaine Brown my black sheep of the week. So Elaine Brown was a part of the Black Panther movement. But what I love so much about the reason she stepped away is because a lot of people don't know that the Black Panthers were led by black women, organized, led. Black women were pivotal in making sure the Black Panther Party was upheld. It was not until, I think her name was Marvina Grant, she was brutally attacked by some of the men, the black men in the Black Panther Party, to the point where they beat her so bad, a woman, because she reprimanded one of the Black Panther men for doing something awful. She reprimanded him. They beat her. Like, I mean, jumped and beat her, broke her jaw. This is a woman of the Black Panther Party. And when Elaine Brown confronted Huey P. Newton and told him this is not fucking okay, he stood by the men. Because at the end of the day, they were tired of women having such a pivotal part of leadership. And so, again, sexism, misogynoir has its moment. And Elaine Brown decided absolutely not. And even though she stepped away from the Black Panther Party, she has spent the past decades still doing the community work that is necessary for us to continue to grow as a community. So shout out to Elaine Brown, who is my black sheep of the week. Black sheep of the week. Hey, black sheep of the week. As we did it in reverse. It's okay. I'm starting to get lit. Okay, what I have been watching. So let's hurry up and just talk about it. Summer House. I am so glad this shit is over. I never wanted to watch this fuck ass, white ass show. Y'all niggas brought me here, okay? I'm talking to you, Leah. And now I am just hooked. So Summer House finale part 3 happened. And then at the end, they were like, oh, we gonna do an aftermath show. So the aftermath, we watched it. Here's what I'll tell you. One, I was pissed the fuck off seeing Lindsay sit down with Amanda and say, she just needs a big sister right now, someone who's going to give her the harsh truth. I'm so sick of y'all coddling this white woman. So I was so irritated watching her go sit down. I'm like, yet another form of coddling, another redemption arc for Amanda Batula. Let's just hear what's going to happen. Okay, Lindsay, I did not know your game, Miss Ma'am. Okay, not only on Summer House, but also in the city. Lindsay is proving to me that she's a white woman that I like. Okay, I like this girl down. So she hit Amanda with the old bait and hook. Okay, got her in. She baited her in with a safe space. I'm your big sister. He's manipulating you. You know, tell me what's really going on to make her feel safe. And then the bait and switch happened. She switched up on her ass real fucking quick. Lindsay was giving her the business. It didn't matter if Amanda started trying to cry, if she tried to garner sympathy out of it. Lindsay was like, yeah, you are dumb. Yeah, you should feel bad. Okay. Granted, Amanda started to give me, because she was like, not that I was starting to feel bad for her, but I was starting to at least be like, okay, she was in a really bad space. And I can see how she just wanted to feel seen or to feel something at that time. Not that I in any way, when it comes to Sierra thing, you know, understand. But in that moment, listening to her, I'm like, okay, maybe she is a normal human who just like fucked up and don't really value friendships like that. Oh no. Lindsay was like, oh, okay, well, when you started feeling like that, you should have leaned on your friends who were already showing you attention. Sierra, who was already showing you attention, who loved you, you should have leaned on her for support. The moment that this man came and you felt like you were being manipulated, you should have left him the fuck alone. And this is where Amanda continues to do this. At first I did. I told him no. Why am I not getting any credit for like the fact that I said no a whole bunch of times to my best friend's ex? And then I said yes. If 9 times out of 10 I said no and then I finally fucked him, do I not get a chance for 9 times? And it's like, no, bitch, because I also don't believe you. Y'all think that Amanda just got manipulated. I believe she was always jealous of Sierra. Even if she kept telling Wes no, she was giving him some sort of signal that he thought he could get to her. Because there's no way he would have been working on Lindsay like that. When Wes smells a pick-me, Wes jumps on that shit immediately. When he can smell that a woman is going to be, like Sierra said, weak, a pick-me, just like him specifically for male validation, he eats that shit up. He knows exactly where to go. And that's another reason he didn't like Sierra. He don't like being held accountable. He don't like people breaking that perfect little white boy image that he has created around himself that the world sees him as. He doesn't like when that gets called out, which is why he's so bad at being accountable and speaking up for himself, because he's just like a weak ass person. I would say Wes and Amanda, I sound like Lisa Vanderpump. Wes and Amanda are cut from the same cloth, because when Amanda told Kyle, I'm a catch, I'm like, besides being a white woman, what's the catch? You ain't got no job. You ain't fun. You ain't got no style. I don't know what booty you think you got. Maybe the Taylor Swift shit is working for y'all. I know white boys love a thin body with some big ass titties. So maybe that's the catch. I don't know what this girl brings that could possibly be a catch to someone. Watching her just bed rot, be miserable. She was the only one I saw on In the City who was just laying on the couch. They showed like all of them in their houses. You see Lindsay running around with Gemma. You see you see Amanda on that couch just bed rotting. I'm like, she the only one lazy as fuck. She don't do a damn thing. So for her to truly believe she's a catch and deserves to be treated, why? Her and Wes, a mess. That's funny. Amanda and Wes together is a mess. I don't give a fuck. That's funny. A fucking mess. There's nothing that I could see in them that you would want except the fact that they're white and we live in a white supremacist country. That's it. His dick little, her ass small. They not fun. Spitting in each other's mouths. Y'all don't bathe like that. Ugh. And so anyways, we go on to see Wes and Kyle talk. The most awkward shit of all. The dog knew what was up. The whole situation, I hate watching Wes speak. It's like trying to scold a kid who don't want to tell you what actually happened. And you're like, spit it the fuck out before you go to detention. And they're like, just give me detention. And you're like, I just want to slap the fuck out of you. That's what he reminds me of. I just be so fucking annoyed watching his ass work. Annoyed. Apparently Wes has been fired. Hope that's true. I don't ever want to see these white people on my screen again. I don't know why y'all holding them down. Amanda is even here. I don't know. The Wes and Kyle conversation was pointless. Then you see Miha and Sierra talk. I just like to see Sierra. She's just a beautiful girl. Love to see it. The Kiki was hilarious. Miha admitting that she had spent 6 hours talking to Wes after he completely dumped her in the blink of an eye. I know a lot of people judge her. She's a little weird, you know. She is, you can tell she's a pick-me. She's like, oh, I thought I was in on it. You can tell the type of girl that, again, men love. Men love the type. Easy men who have no value in themselves, who don't actually respect themselves, love pick-me women because they don't have to do anything to keep their girlfriend. They know showing up as a man is enough, and they like that shit. They like that. I ain't got to do nothing. If I tell Miha I'm leaving for the weekend, she gonna stay here and decorate my apartment. They love that shit because they don't actually take any pride in themselves. They know they can just show up. So it be blowing my mind. And to know that you have a woman like that, gross. If you with a girl who don't like men but she love you, you know you doing something right, okay? You know you doing something right when your girl, and those are the women who really will care for you in a way that they love themselves and you're getting the overflow. Women who will love you out of their empty shell are the weirdest fucking toxic loves you could ever have because they're unstable. The love is going to be unstable. You can tell Wes and Amanda are in this height of like, oh, it was fun and secretive because he was doing the same thing with Miha. He loves that. He lives off that shit. So Sierra and Miha have their moment. Shout out to my friend Leah on her podcast, Positively Uncensored. We talked earlier today and she was like, I just thought it was very weird that Miha told Sierra they should make out on the Megatron. And I was like, well, I kind of laughed at that part. And she's like, yeah, but like, why? Why do y'all need to make out? Why would you even think that or suggest that? I thought it was a little key. I love that they got together. I don't need to see any more of Miha. She didn't give enough, like, exposing. I'm like, girl, tell us more. And I guess all the people, y'all were gagged that she said that she could only talk to him on the phone because of Amanda. I was like, I don't get it. Then come to find out, it's because Amanda's going through his phone. So he's already going through the relationship type shit that y'all know is gonna make him miserable. So I mean, good for him. And that was Summer House. I don't know if I'm gonna continue with this show in the city. Amanda drives me nuts. Watching white basic people be basic and white gets on my absolute nerves. I will say, didn't like Kenny at first, but this situation with his dad and him finding him, it's been beautiful to watch, and I can't wait to see what happens on the next episode. I'll give him that. Real Housewives of Rhode Island. This show is the gift that just keeps on giving. I love this show, okay? I was really trying to figure out what is going on with Rula. Like, but now you see more that, like, I thought maybe she went to the cops to see who tracked her and then they found out it was her husband. My mom was like, no, something got physical. I'm telling you right now, something happened that was physical, which forced her to call the cops. Which is why when she sat down with them, she was like, it was nothing crazy. It was nothing bad. She's still protecting them in a sense because he's manipulated her so hard. And he be in her ear, the kids and the family. Of course, you're so cool. You put your ego to the side. And she's like, ego? Well, your pride. You put your pride to the side. You're a weak ass woman because you hold me down because the kids. And I'm like, men are scary. Okay. If one thing Bravo would show you is these men are fucking scary. Insane. Do you care about the kids? Do you care about your kids? Because you could not stop cheating for one summer. Not only you couldn't stop cheating, but you couldn't stop humiliatingly cheating. You were cheating like, oh, I'm going to come film for 15 minutes, then go leave, be with the mistress, post pictures and come back filming. Embarrassing. Y'all not even good at hiding it. I think one of the other husbands was like, what happened to the respectful kind of cheating? Y'all sloppy. I'm like, y'all sloppy for real. I'm not with cheating at all because I might Lorena Bobbitt your ass, but be respectful, dog. We got kids. Yuck. Anyways, that's all I've been watching. Let's move on to my micro of the week. It's going to go to Dominique Morgan because shout out to Dominique Morgan. Dominique Morgan is one of the realest, coolest ass fucking people I have ever been in contact with or experienced. Like, ever. And I mean been in contact with as in like got to see her in person at Baltimore Pride. I went to one of her panels. It was fucking amazing. I was so inspired. I was a little nervous that I would go and see queer people in person and see just anxiety. You know, everyone is doing pretty bad right now in this country. So I was a little nervous that like when they're actually in front of the camera, like they may be nervous or you'll see them be jittery or you'll see them maybe spiraling. Nah, Dominique is dope as fuck. Like, she is a real ass bitch. She was so liberated and vulnerable. Watching her speak, the things she said, she got me so right. I went home and fucked my man like I ain't never fucked him. I'm telling you right now because she spoke in a way that was like, you know, just like we want to be loved and deserved, your partner deserves that. Like, she just spoke about true liberation and what love is. And I think sometimes because my boyfriend is a man, I'm just like not like angry, but like some of the ways in which men get to exist that we don't is upsetting. But like I was like, as just a person, I need to love him and chase him and make him feel cared for the way he makes me feel cared for. So I went home, you know, I fucked him good or whatever and told him. He was like, baby, I think you need to go easy on yourself because you really do. And I was like, oh, okay. Guess I don't need to change anything. So anyways, shout out to Dominique Morgan. But my micro of the week is going to the fact that when we were at Baltimore Pride, they did my girl super fucking dirty. At Baltimore Pride, they had like 2 stages, but they had the main stage. They told the trans girls they had to be at a whole separate stage outside of the park up a hill. So they were not at the main stage like where Cash Doll was and everything. They had the trans girlies at a whole different section where they couldn't even be directly included in Pride. So Dominique, I didn't even know that they had a separate section. I came to Pride because Dominique Morgan, and it was just so much going on. I thought maybe she was on a stage somewhere. She goes to the stage because the people who put together Baltimore Pride was like, oh, I'm sorry. She came to confront them, and they were like, oh, I'm sorry. Go on the mic and tell them about Trans Pride and what's going on. She goes on the mic to tell them about Trans Pride, And this hoe ass bitch, right after she gets off the mic, snatches the mic and tells her essentially, this ain't about trans people. This is about pride, and this ain't about y'all, and gets 5 security guards to escort her out. And maybe this is less of a microaggression and more of just trans fucking phobic. But again, straight women, y'all are never beating these fucking allegations. The way that y'all treat trans women, cisgendered women, I'm sorry, not straight women, straight women as well, but cisgendered women, us, we have to do a better fucking job of treating our trans girlies like they deserve fucking human decency and respect. I cannot believe you treated the Dominique Morgan like this. But not only that, what I love about Dominique Morgan is later on that night, she made a video. She called out directly the woman who did it. I think her name was like Tranisha Scott or Tanisha something. Called her out directly, said, you will be apologizing to me. The girl wrote back and was like, I would never apologize. Everybody in Baltimore knows me. And guess what? She got that apology the next day on stage. Yes, she fucking did. And that's why I love Dominique Morgan, because she is a black woman like her auntie and her grandma and the women before her, and she stands on who she is. She doesn't back down. She was like, oh no, I'm gonna get that apology because I deserve. And it's a lot of times as black women, we feel like we don't deserve much, but she knows exactly who she is and what she deserves. And I just love that so much. So shout out to you, Dominique Morgan. And I really hope that whoever took the pictures of me and Dominique chatting and in front of the sip and see, please, you sent me the videos, but my memory was full. The fucking pictures erased in my phone. I want those pictures so bad. I'm going to try to find them somewhere, but they're in the ether now. So shout out to my girl, Dominique Morgan. Now we've come to the end of the episode where I give you my party favors. And for my party favor this week, it is on a little bit of a darker note because we just celebrated the 10 years of the shooting at the Pulse nightclub shooting, where we lost 49 queer members. And I don't think people understand what that means. Not only did 49 people, not only were 49 people murdered, but that's 49 queer peoples whose identities and bodies mattered. That's 49 people who were liberated, who were bringing art and love and care into the world. When you kill, murder, and destroy the most marginalized people, you destroy art, you destroy real community, you destroy the most purest part of this entire fucking country. That's what you did when you took those people away from us. And as I said before, our existence is an act of defiance. Us just living and breathing as who we are is a direct act of defiance to this fucking country. And we refuse to give up. We refuse to relinquish the love and the care and our identities. We refuse to give that up. And on the 10-year anniversary of that shooting, I want to tell every queer baby that you are loved. Every single one alone in their room who isn't sure what they'll do the next day, what they'll do when their family members turn their back on us. You will always have family. You will always have love with us. And I love you. I love you all so much. Happy Pride. We're going to make this through. We're going to make it through as long as we have each other. That's it. That's all. Peace.